In the earliest of days, before men tamed the earth and before the stars had names, the world was raw. The wind was sharp, the mountains cold, and the darkness long. Humanity wandered, fragile and forgotten, like shadows passing through the bones of the earth. They knew no warmth but the sun, no light but the moon, and no power but fear. Their nights were filled with silence and screams. Wild beasts howled beyond the trees, storms cracked the sky, and humans cowered, cold and naked, in caves of stone. The gods watched from Olympus, golden and immortal. They ruled the heavens and the rhythms of the world. They crafted the oceans, molded the seasons, and whispered the names of all living things. But to men they gave only breath, not tools, not fire, not wisdom. For Zeus, king of the gods, feared the rise of mankind. If man had fire, he would build. If he had knowledge, he would question. And if he questioned long enough, he might forget the gods entirely. So fire was kept from the earth, hidden in the forge of Hephaestus, locked in the heavens, beyond mortal reach. But among the gods was one who did not look away from humanity's suffering. Prometheus, a titan by birth and rebel by soul, had seen the first dawn and remembered the song of creation. Unlike his kin, he loved the unfinished creature called man. He watched them struggle, watched them shiver, watched them die young and blind, and his heart burned. So he dared what none had dared. Under the cloak of night he climbed Olympus, crossed the threshold of the forge, where fire danced like wild horses and iron sang with heat, and stole a single spark, no more than a flicker, a golden whisper wrapped in a hollow reed. He carried it down the mountain like a secret, through wind and storm and divine silence, and placed it into the hands of humankind. And for the first time, night was broken. Flames licked the dark. Shadows fled. The beasts fell silent. Men gathered around the blaze, and something ancient awoke in the eyes. With fire they shaped tools. With tools they shaped cities, and with cities they shaped destiny. But Olympus was not still. Zeus saw the light on earth and roared with fury. For to defy him was to unmake the order of all things. So Prometheus was seized, bound in divine bronze to the cliff of the Caucasus, where each day an eagle tore his flesh and devoured his liver. Each night the wound healed. Each dawn the eagle returned, day after day, century after century. For fire he gave his body. For man he gave eternity. But Prometheus did not scream. He did not beg. He endured. For he knew what fire meant, not just warmth or power, but rebellion, memory, progress, and hope. He had lit a fuse that could never be extinguished, and humanity remembered. Through every forge, every candle, every spark that lit a page or powered a dream, Prometheus lived on. Some say Heracles freed him, slaying the eagle and breaking the chains. Others say he still bleeds in silence. Because Prometheus is not merely a myth. He is the breath in every act of defiance, the whisper behind every question, the heartbeat of every fire that burns against the dark. And so, from that single spark, civilization unfolded like a scroll written in fire and ash. Stone gave way to bronze, and bronze to iron, and man no longer feared the night. They bent it to their will. Cities rose where shadows once crept. Temples crowned hills where gods had once walked unseen. The flame leapt from hearths to towers from oil lamps to lightning and wires, from forges to stars. In every rebellion, in every act of creation, his defiance echoed. When Galileo raised his eyes to the heavens and saw truth beyond dogma, the spark burned. When the printing press churned out forbidden words beneath candlelight, it flared brighter. When slaves broke chains and poets named injustice, when dreamers painted futures the world had not yet earned, the fire surged like a river of memory. Even when forgotten, the world carried his legacy in its bones, in bridges that spanned valleys, in vaccines that quelled plagues, in voices that questioned thrones. Yet fire is not without cost. It warms but also burns. Men forged plows and swords. They lit cities and pyres. Still, Prometheus watched, not from Olympus, but from within. In the steel veins of skyscrapers, in the circuitry of dreaming machines, in the pixel glow of distant screens, his spark endures. He lives in algorithms that seek knowledge, in equations that defy ignorance. He walks beside the child who questions authority, the scientist who doubts dogma, the artist who dares to envision. The eagle may have torn his flesh, but never his will. The gods may have punished him, but they could not erase him. He became more than a titan, a principle, a pulse, a sacred inheritance. And as humanity now reaches toward stars, dreaming not only of survival, but of transcendence, the fire asks again, will you carry me further, or let me die in comfort? For Prometheus gave us not just fire, but a choice, to remain chained by fear and tradition, or to rise, suffer, and become more. Though the mountain lies far behind and the eagle long dead, the weight of that choice still burns in every breath. We are the children of the spark, heirs of defiance, and as long as fire lives, so too does the Titan who bled for it.